All right. So listen, good evening. It is great to see everybody. Just give me 1 second here. All right. So listen, it's good to see everybody. Episode 20 behind the Toolbelt. And I'm super excited for everyone to be here. But if we could take a few seconds with housekeeping things and share and invite, we have a special guest, Crowns from Crownstone tonight, which is also known as Bobcat of York, Jim Hankey. But before we get to everybody, we got Chris Baker and we have Ty Cobb Backer coming in here. So we're going to have a great show tonight behind the Toolbelt. But it's never anything without you. Our friends and family look at what we do. And most of the people we do business with inside of our circle are someone that knew someone that knew somebody. So when you share this, especially even more importantly in this time right now that our country's going through, you're tagging a little piece of the American flag with you every time you share and invite. I mean, listen, it's not getting any more patriotic than to be where we are today in this situation and people helping people. And listen, it's curbside food and it's virtual business. So when you share these feeds out, there's people that, if they told you how many times I messaged them because somebody saw us on Facebook and had a leaky roof, it's just crazy. Or someone needed their grass cut or whatever the case may be. TC Backer answers the call. Horizon Lawns answers the call. They're the first ones that I know of to go into a home show. Now looking back, I don't think it'll ever be duplicated the way they did it. It's amazing. And to think these guys are contractors. These gentlemen and ladies are contractors. They're out there on the forefront taking care of our homes. So what we do is important. When you share this out and people get to meet reputable companies, that's important. And Crownstone has a great relationship. We're going to talk about relationships with vendors. Not only just every business. We're going to talk specifically about the contractor world, but it's important in any business, your vendor relations. So even if you're not into this, you could be at a job and you're going to get some nuggets tonight about how important vendor relations are. And we're going to talk about the things that Bobcat has to offer, the tools, the equipment, the knowledge, the training, and who is the guy behind Crownstone here? Who is this Jim Hankey, right? Does he have a family? Is he married? We're going to find out some good stuff. Jacob, good to see you. Please drop your town in the comments. When you drop your town in the comments, that allows us to connect with each other. So that's important when you take 5 seconds and share this to a group. Put your town in the comments, maybe your zip code. So I just want to tell everybody, it is great to be here in America today. It is great to be in central Pennsylvania. I don't know where you are unless you put your town in. But God bless you and your family. And stay safe. We have everything here we need. Boom, we're sanitizing. I don't have a mask on them here, but I got one. And I got all my spray to get rid of the COVID. But at the end of the day, we appreciate you. We appreciate your family. And I do want to make sure everyone knows that Cody Rogers, I know we're going to talk at the end, happy birthday. I just want to personally want to say that to you, Cody. I know your birthday's coming up.
Happy birthday, Cody.
Yeah. Happy birthday, brother.
We need him to get healthy and come back to work, man. We miss him.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we love him. Jocelyn, good to see you. Invite the family, please. Jacob, it's so good to see a great day in Dover, Pennsylvania. It is a great day in Dover, Pennsylvania.
It's a beautiful day out, man. Beautiful day to be in the exterior field doing construction. Jacob was out in the field today. He was up on some roofs helping me out with some service stuff, managing the guys down in Maryland, our subcontractors and stuff. He's doing a great job. Along with all of our other guys, man. We got service guys in the field that have been killing it, steady through this whole pandemic. I can't say enough good things about our support system, our family. On the Horizon side, the TC Backer side, in the office, outside the office, everyone. All of our affiliates, Jim Hankey with Bobcat, everyone, man. Everyone's just been killing it. Everyone's been giving 110%. And I'm sure Tad would back me up on this, but I would be absolutely lost without my team. So, and I don't really think that anyone else could fit into their shoes. So, so yeah, man. I guess we'll start off, Jim. I'm curious, man. I was writing up a couple questions here that I wanted to make sure I asked.
Yeah.
We see each other at these shows a lot. I think that's kind of where we started with our connection here was the York show, I believe. Bobcat's been to every show that we've been to. You kind of went on tour too. So you've been on the show a lot, but a lot of the stuff that you've talked about on the shows have basically just been about Bobcat. So let's start off with Jim, man. Who's Jim? Let's hear a little bit about yourself, man.
I am married for 12 years, have two beautiful little girls. One's 6 and one's 10 years old. I'm just pretty much just a family guy, just a normal family guy. So yeah.
What's your daughter's names?
Joel and Kaya.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I like
Yeah.
that. That's different.
How old are they? Like
Yeah,
6
yeah.
and 10?
They're actually both Jewish names. Right after my wife and I got married, we went over to Israel, and we just fell in love with the country over there, and so we named both of our girls Jewish names.
Awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they both have meanings. Joel means God is willing, and Kaya means life. That's actually a little special meaning to me because my daughter, Joelle, God is willing. She was born with a heart defect, and at 1 week old, she had to have an open heart surgery.
Wow.
And I believe God healed her there. And also at 2 years old, she had to have a second open heart surgery. And we almost lost her that time because she had to have, she got pneumonia, and she was on a ventilator, and it was looking pretty grim at first, but she got out of it, and she's like a beautiful, healthy girl right now. So.
Yeah. I gotta ask you, Jim. What hospital? Was that in York?
No, actually, before she was born, we found out that she had this heart defect, and so we had a special appointment up in Harrisburg, and we went in because they said that she had a cyst on her brain. But when it was there, or when my wife was there, they did the scan, and they found out that she had a heart defect. And so they took us over to a room, took us in like a conference room, and the doctor was pretty much gave us a choice. Do you want to continue this pregnancy or not? I honestly wanted to reach over and check him out, but because I don't believe, it's just my personal belief, but I don't believe that should be even a choice. But so anyways, at that point they referred us to Hershey Hospital. Wonderful years there.
I asked that question, Jim, because not a lot of people know this about me, man, but I can relate with that. I have twins that were born 28 weeks, so they spent about 3 months in an incubator and at the NICU at York. So I know that feeling, man. It's a terrible feeling. It's a terrible, grim, unknowing feeling. But we have a lot of really good people in the healthcare industry around here, man. York Hospital is one of the best. Hershey Hospital might actually be a little bit better than them. They're a pediatric facility, man. It's second to none, man. I personally know what that feeling's like. My daughter actually had one of the first cases of whooping cough around here in like 20 years, man. I had to give her CPR in the living room and stuff. Like she almost died. It was crazy. And I know what that feeling's like, man. For a doctor to say to you, do you want to continue this? It sounds absurd to someone like you or me, but like you said, it's a belief. And some people, unfortunately, man, are not. They're not mentally strong. I don't want to say mentally strong enough, but they're scared of that, man. Like, what if I have a child that has complications that, God bless the people that have kids with Down syndrome and stuff, like, the tough parenting. It's not always easy, and especially, having kids in general just isn't easy. Especially when you had problems and stuff, man. That's a terrible time. So I'm glad that everything's good, though. You said that she's nice and healthy, and you can't tell anything ever happened.
No, I mean, yeah, she obviously has, scarred, but, she has to get checkups every year. She's still, every once in a while, she just had a valve replacement last year, with catheterization, which is absolutely amazing to me. I mean, it went through a vein in her leg and put a valve in her heart. It's
amazing, man.
Yeah, it's amazing stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't, Jim, I never knew any of that about you. You don't wear any of that on your sleeve. I mean, you carry yourself in a professional manner whenever, we're talking about work stuff or on a personal level, man. I would have never knew any of that about you. You just mentioned something to us tonight about that. That's amazing, man. What a miracle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's awesome. And we actually came, just a little background too. I don't mean to just talk about my kids, but this is a miracle, really. We named our child Joelle, God is willing, before we even knew that any of this happened, that she had a heart defect. And I believe God was willing to heal her.
Amen.
That's
for sure.
I think just in her name was a testimony.
Amen.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That kind of leads me into the next question here, Jim. I want to know what motivates you, man. What motivates you to get up and go to work on the days that it's tough? Because we all have tough days, man. We all have days. If Wednesday was terrible, Thursday's usually a little bit tougher to get up and strap the boots on and go, man. Like what keeps you going? What drives you?
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely don't always have good days, but I mean, I personally believe in when it comes to what drives me in like a hierarchy. I mean, it's like a pyramid. I keep God first, and then my wife and children, and then obviously the rest of my family. And obviously then it goes down to my boss and so on, and my coworkers and so on and so forth. So I personally believe that what drives me is like I'm working for God every day.
Amen.
So I mean I try to put my all into it every day. I'm far from perfect, but that's why I do what I do. That's the purpose of life for me. So.
Yeah, Jim, and I would say that you do live that way. I mean, you're the kind of guy, what you see is what you get. There's no ulterior motive or sneakiness or, I know for me it's been a pleasure, getting to know you on a personal level, but working with you, on the business end of things, you have been open and honest and transparent. And right away, I was drawn to you because I could just tell that you are an honest guy, and I believed everything that you said to me. Not on a personal level, but when it comes to business. And honestly, it's tough to find a salesperson. I shouldn't say that, but you always think when someone's selling you something, whether you go to a furniture store or a car dealership, you always feel like they're like holding their car so close to their chest. Not that they're trying to actually get away with anything, but they're trying to make a living. But you were like, hey, this is basically this is what it is, and if I do this, it won't be so good for me. And, you were just, and it was a pleasure working with you. I didn't feel, pressured at all. I mean, I would call you like, okay, Jim, I'm right. And 5 minutes later, I'd call you back and say, no, man, can we reschedule this? And you were so patient for me. Like, when we finally got that Bobcat, I bet went on for a good 3-4 months. Like, where I called you up, like, hey, Jim, I'm interested in a Bobcat. You're like, okay, you came right out to the shop, showed me my options, said, hey, this is the one you want for what you're doing. These are the accessories you want with it. And I was all gung ho, and I was like, nah, man. Like, I started to feel like buyer's remorse right away. And you were totally patient with me. And, I think I don't know if that's what drew me to you, but just your patience and tolerance. And I could just tell that you were really a genuine person. You weren't over the top pushing me, and you're just a real good dude, Jim. And honestly, that's why, when me, Shane, and Chris talk about our circle, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like you're one of those people in our circle, man.
I appreciate that. Sitting here, man. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jim, do you ever make any deer steaks or anything like that?
I'm sorry, I didn't get you.
Do you ever make any deer steaks?
Deer steaks.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I definitely go hunting. So, yeah, every fall.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's not here, man. He's cooking bobcat, bro.
Yeah.
So, Jim, I just want to circle back real quick, man, and point something out here. So you said all those things that you mentioned about what motivates you and everything. I can kind of attest to that, man, because, one thing that really stuck out with me, with you personally, when this whole COVID thing started, we were in the middle of doing the Hanover show, if you guys remember. We knew what was going to be going on. We were up at the Hanover Hump show, and we came up with this idea while we were live on I don't even know what show it was. We were live on Facebook, and we came up with this idea that we were going to start a Facebook page and do a food drive for anyone that was afraid to go to the grocery store, any elderly people, any of that kind of stuff. And you couldn't get over fast enough to be a part of it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of stuff that sticks out in my head with you. When Ty says genuine, and when you say the things that drive you, that's present in your actions, man. Actions speak louder than words. And that's one thing that you can hold high, man. You definitely do what you say you're going to do, and you act the way that you say you're going to act. You know what I mean? So that's genuine. I thank you for that, man. We definitely appreciate your relationship, and we appreciate the nice new piece of machinery we got from you, man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, actually, I want to circle some of the things that you guys are doing. A lot of people don't know about. I'm not going to go into it, but I really appreciate everything that you're doing for the community. Just collecting and helping families out during this time, where there's so much uncertainty with the COVID thing. I just want to say I appreciate it, and thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's a whole team, man. It takes a village. You know that as well as we do, man. It takes a village to do the stuff that we want to do and accomplish the things that we want to accomplish, man. And I'm sure that you've seen. You're a frequent on our shows. You see the network that we have with a lot of the people around here that I'm sure you're also a part of as well with some of these businesses. Dude, everyone around here in this area, York is blessed. We have a really good group of entrepreneurs, businesses that really love to help, man. We love to give back. We love to help. I know a lot of people that own businesses that they can't do enough for the community. There's guys. I mean, Wayne Scott. He doesn't even really get any recognition or get anything really out of it other than satisfaction of helping kids. I mean, that guy helps kids every weekend, constantly. I mean, his full-time job is basically giving to York. So just that in general, man, that's awesome, and I'm glad that you're a part of it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, man. So what you're here with Crownstone, which if people don't know, Crownstone the parent company for Bobcat, correct?
Right. Correct.
So with basically in general, Bobcat, they do the heavy equipment and everything. Just explain a little bit about what kind of stuff you offer.
Yeah, so we offer compact track loaders. That's a mini right there on the screen, a mini track loader. you can get it either way. Like you can have like a sulky that's like a standalone platform behind the machine, or there's one model that you can actually stand inside the machine, put multiple attachments on them. We sell compact tractors. We just came out with those last fall. There's multiple sizes. You can get them with an enclosed cab or open cab. Multiple attachments for those as well off of a 3-point hitch. You can put a bucket on the front or pallet forks. There's skid steers. I think I already said that. Telehandlers. So it's like a telescopic forklift that a lot of guys use on farms or sometimes in industry to move pallets mainly. And then out of our Adams County store we sell Exmark lawnmowers. And out of our Frederick store we sell Toro lawnmowers. We sell Bomag, vibratory rollers, jumping jacks, plate tampers, and Carlton tree equipment, stump grinders and chippers. Something I'm missing. Oh, cam trailers as well, cam superline trailers, which, yeah, you guys just bought a tilt trailer, a split tilt trailer. So, yeah.
Yeah, man, you're hooking us up. I know the Verizon boys are loving you right now, man.
Yeah.
They're definitely loving you. So what all areas do you guys service, Jim?
Yeah, so we just acquired Bobcat of Lancaster, and we have Bobcat of York County, Bobcat of Adams County, Frederick County, and Bobcat of Washington County, which is Hagerstown.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Wow. That's a big area, man. And you're a part of all that, or are you just in York?
Yes, me personally, I'm just in northern York County. I take care of just above like Route 30 and north. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah.
So with that equipment, Jim, are you can you rent all that equipment? Do you have to rent it? Can you purchase it? You know, what are your purchasing options and all that kinds of stuff?
Yeah. So each month, as far as the purchasing option, there's different financing options that come out the first of each month. So from month to month, they change a little bit. As far as you also have a lease option, which is nice, you know, especially if you're going to possibly be, you know, changing over the machine every couple of years. It may help to reduce some of the maintenance costs if you're leasing. And then not every single piece that we sell we rent, but the majority of the pieces that we sell we rent as well. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
What would steer someone in the direction to lease or buy? I mean, is that a case by case basis? I mean, what would make it more beneficial for me to purchase the vehicle the tractor rather than lease it?
Yeah, it's pretty much a case by case situation, and I kind of try to, like, when I'm meeting with a customer, I have an open mind. I try to listen and see what they're doing with the machine and how many hours they project to use it per year, and just I think of it as, you know, I'm selling to someone like I'd be selling to myself. You know, what would make the most sense if I was going to be purchasing this machine? It just kind of works. I mean, you know, and I think that I think it's pretty transparent. I don't try to get people into something that's not good for them.
Yeah, that's sales 101, man. You got to be a people person to be a salesman. You know, go in, customer, find out what they need. You got to listen. You have to be able to listen. You know, otherwise you're going to come off as the type of salesperson that Ty was talking about earlier. You know, and those are the ones that it's tough to trust. You know, you walk five feet into a furniture store and someone's explaining everything that they got for you, and they don't even know why you're there. So
Right.
that's sales 101, and I know you definitely do a good job at getting to know your customers, man. So kudos to you on that one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah. Ty, you got a couple questions for him, brother?
Yeah, so I guess to explain some of the differences in between renting, buying, leasing the equipment, or did you just ask that question? Please, you answered that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. I was replying to some people here. Okay, so what's the process if someone doesn't know what kind of machine that they need for the job? Like, can you help them or guide them in the right direction if they're trying to explain to you, like, I need a trench dug in my backyard to run power from my house to the garage? And can you help
Right.
right direction for what to use?
Yeah, absolutely. So it all starts with the contact. Most days, actually, I'm out on the road, trying to find people that need the equipment, and seeing what I can do to help to solve come up with a solution for what they need the equipment for. So it all starts out with the first contact. It's either email or phone call, and then from there, most times I try to go out and actually meet with the customer and see what they want to do. And then from there, I don't always have the answers to every dilemma, but I'll go back, and we have a very strong support system with Crownstone, and I can find out the answers to the customer's questions and try to find the best piece of equipment for them.
Gotcha. Now, if you said you go out there now, when they rent a piece of equipment, would you go out and actually show them how to use it in case they don't know how to use it?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I'll go out, I'll take the piece of equipment out to them and go over it from top to bottom. And if they have a question that I don't know, I'll find it out and get back to them.
Gotcha. Even if they're just renting it for the day, you'll go out and show them how to use it.
Oh, sure. Yep, absolutely.
Oh. Okay, well, that's good to know. Now, do you have any equipment that people can rent that would require like a license to operate, or don't you have anything like that?
No, I can't think of anything that would require a license. So pretty much, yeah.
That's a good question, Ty, because I know, at least in our industry, man, we get some of the big, the manlifts, the 80-foot, 100-foot, 120s, some of the big forklifts, 50K, 60Ks, that equipment, you can knock buildings down with this stuff, you can kill people with it.
Yeah.
So a lot of that stuff requires a special class that you got to go to through OSHA or someone that gives you a little certificate that usually is good for 2 or 3 years or something. Then you got to go back and get recertified. So you're saying that you don't need anything like that. Anyone can pretty much get any piece of equipment and feel safe and comfortable after you're there and you explain how to use that piece of equipment.
Yeah, and if they don't feel comfortable, I definitely suggest getting with one of either myself or one of my coworkers to explain it. Safety is number one priority. We want to make sure everyone's safe. Yep.
Speaking of safety, now, when you go to rent a car, and if you use your credit card, usually your credit card covers the car as far as insurance goes. So if someone wanted to go and rent a Bobcat, do they need to use their credit card or sign something, pay an extra $10 for insurance to cover the piece of equipment while they're renting it?
Yeah. So that's a good question. I don't get too much into the renting end of it, but I'll definitely find out and get back to you.
Yeah,
Okay.
but all that information will be disclosed at the time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
Like, oh, I didn't know about this. You know,
Right.
you guys do a pretty good job of making sure that all the stuff's on the table. You know, when the customer's ready to swipe their card and everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we go over it all with them ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's
If
good.
I get a piece of equipment tomorrow, or let's say Monday or something, since tomorrow's already gone, or it's too late to call. But if I needed something for like Monday, do you guys deliver a piece of equipment? Like I was saying, talking about a trencher. Would you be able to deliver that to a job site or to my house, and then come and pick it back up?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's definitely something that we could do. But I do definitely suggest, if someone is looking at renting a piece of equipment, that they give us a couple of days heads up. Just because, especially this time of year, things are very busy, and a lot of times multiple customers want to rent the same piece of equipment. So try
So
to
what do you suggest? Give it, obviously more than 24-hour notice. Like, you think maybe a week, or not that far out in advance?
No, just probably just a couple days, and then we can tell you what the schedule is, when we're going to have pieces of equipment back, and it just it helps every out, just with planning and making sure that we can service. I mean, we do have multiple pieces to rent. I just I wouldn't want someone to call in the morning and then unfortunately, we might not have it there for them to rent. The longer that they can give us a heads up, the better.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Believe me, I totally know that, especially this time of year. So what I think the cool about that is let's say somebody needed to rent something and they don't have a trailer to go into Bobcat, pick the piece of equipment up, bring it back, that you guys would cover all of that. Just like, call in there and say, hey, do you guys have, this piece of equipment, and have it delivered. That's phenomenal, especially with the conditions that we're under right now. I know a lot of people are doing like they're working on their yards, or they're doing their own home improvements right now. I drove past Lowe's today. I have never seen so much mulch in Lowe's parking lot. Like I drove past H&H before and saw a lot of mulch. But I have never seen that much mulch in one area in a parking lot of like business like Lowe's before. The 25% of the parking lot down towards when you first pull into Lowe's is 16 foot tall stacks of mulch. Yeah, I've never seen it.
Wow.
The sales to mulch must be ridiculous right now. But my point is, so if somebody, obviously Lowe's can deliver the mulch, so you guys can deliver a piece of equipment if they're working on their yard and stuff. That's good information for people to know, especially right now, because a lot of people are at home right now doing their own thing and working on their own house and working on their yard, but just to try to stay busy. Then you'll come and pick up. They don't even have to worry about it. That's great. Like, I never even really thought about that. Could someone rent a lawnmower? I'm just curious. Do you guys have lawnmowers down there? I know you have trailers. We've rented trailers from you guys several times.
Yeah, so we just picked up Exmark last fall in Adams County. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to check on that as far as the lawnmowers go.
Sorry for the questions. So many questions.
No.
Firing them off at you real quick. I'm curious because we don't really have this much time to actually talk. We actually have a whole hour to just talk and see what you do. And then I'm sure everybody's curious about what it is that you guys actually do down there other than, sell or lease equipment, that you actually rent equipment. You have just about everything, anything from the commercial contractor to the landscaper to Johnny homeowner who's trying to work, around the house or on a friend's house or their mom and dad's house. I know a lot of people were out there, just doing whatever they can do to stay busy, and that you guys have the tools and the equipment for people to, one, save money by doing it themselves right now and just renting the equipment that they need for the day. I think that's great, man. What kind of stuff, and I'm going to change the subject here a little bit, but what kind of stuff does Bobcat do, to give back to the community? Do you guys do any kind of charities, food drives, or donations, or anything like that?
Yeah, so we have a couple pieces in our rental fleet that we've designated specifically to give back. A portion of that rental goes to Shriners Hospitals for Kids, so in Philadelphia. So it's pretty cool.
And that equipment will paint in special color too, wasn't it? Or was it?
Yeah. It has the Shriners Hospitals for Kids logo on the machines.
Nice.
Yeah, we have a couple pieces door. Yeah.
What piece of equipment is it? What is it that you rent? Because I'd imagine, it's a specific piece of equipment, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So it's a T740, which is a compact track loader. I know that's one of them for sure. Yeah, I'll have to check on the other. Yeah.
Very cool, man. Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they had something out there at the Hanover show. I think that's why or how I saw it.
I think I vaguely remember that, man. I vaguely remember seeing that, and I didn't know what it was for.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. That's a different way to do it, because that kind of keeps you guys in it for like year round, right? So at any point in time, if someone rents that piece of equipment, you have a certain percentage that goes towards charity. So you don't just say like, hey guys, this week we're going to donate, X amount of dollars towards this charity. It's basically 24/7. That machine is dedicated to charity, and that's pretty cool, man. That's really cool stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So I have a question, just circling back a little bit on the locations. What if someone here in York County has a job site, in Northeast Maryland, and they need a piece of equipment, and they want to give their business to their local Bobcat dealer. Are they able to call you, or do they need to call, or do they need to get someone, down in that area? Can they, pop your Bobcat on a trailer and take it to another state if they want to, or, what's the limitations on that?
Yeah. So there are definitely territories. Yeah. So basically, yeah, there's definitely territories. Are you asking if there's somebody in York County that wants to take their?
What I'm asking is if I have a job site down in Maryland somewhere that there isn't a Bobcat around, within like or whatever, and I want Jim Hankey to give me my Bobcat, can I come to you, rent a piece of equipment from you, and take it to my job site, or is there like a limitation, a circle that I have to keep that piece of equipment in?
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a good question. Good question. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry to be stumping you. I'm trying to think of some good ones for you. Well, you'll have to get back to me.
You're thinking of some good ones.
Yeah, I'll update everyone. I'll post it in the comments here in the video, just in case that would. I doubt that's going to happen, but just in case there is someone out there that's like, man, I really like Bobcat of York. I really want to give them my business. That that may prevent them from calling you if they don't know that they can do that. So,
Right.
the answer to I'll get the answer from you, man, and I'll put it in the comments here in case anyone's interested in.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah, so you guys are all part of the same parent company as far as the York, Adams, Lancaster, Frederick, and Washington County, correct? Did I get all of them?
Yeah, Frederick. Yep.
So you guys are all affiliated, right? So there's not really competition between the Bobcats. You guys are all in it to win it.
That's right. Yep.
Awesome. That's good to know too. Good to know.
Now, is Bobcat hiring right now? You know, whether it be, you know, technicians or mechanics, salespeople, or
Yeah. So the best way to find out would be to contact our HR director on that, and they can just look online, call the 1-888 number online, and that's online, and call in and find out. Yeah, just because of, I'm not sure right now, just because of the virus and everything. Honestly,
Yeah.
I don't know. So.
Yeah.
well, how did you find out that Bobcat was hiring? You go online and just put in your resume online, or fill out an application, or did you walk in the door? Did you know somebody?
Yeah, so I heard that they were looking for some salespeople. I put my resume in, and then I got a contact, and they just set up an interview with me, and yeah, that's.
Have you had sales experience prior to going?
I worked for a place that put up grain bins, like on farms and grain mills. We sold grain bins and bucket elevators and all the conveyancing equipment that goes along with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I worked there for about 7 years.
Wow.
So I did. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And all these questions that we're asking right now, man, just for everyone listening, this all circles back to getting to know the people that you do business with. I mean, I'm sure Ty will agree with me. We're going to be good. There's going to be a good business relationship between Crownstone and the whole time to come. I know personally when I deal with people in business, I want to get to know them, man. I want to know the person that I'm talking to. I want to know the person that I'm doing business with. I want to know how they think, how they operate. I'm sure Ty will agree with me on that. Because there's sometimes there's decisions that you have to make, and it's better to know the person that you're dealing with when you have to make some of these decisions. And I know, building each other up is only going to help each other. I'm sure if anyone ever comes to me and wants to know, hey man, where's a good place to get a T330, or you know what I mean? I'm gonna say Jim Hankey at Bobcat, just like if someone asked you, where can I get some gutters done, or where can I get a new roof at? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I'm pretty sure you're gonna tell them TC Backer.
Yeah, absolutely.
The show, man, you're gonna say TC Backer, right?
Yeah. The service that Jim provides, anytime I've ever called Jim and needed something, if he didn't answer the phone, he called me back. But I would say 90% of the time, Jim answered the phone. And, and I was going to say, sometimes you have to pay good money for good service, but that's not necessarily the case, at least not that I've experienced with Bobcat. Like the pricing is fair. It's not, I don't want to say it's dirt cheap or it's super expensive. It's definitely fair and competitive with anywhere else where we've had to rent equipment from, because sometimes we're in different states and stuff like that, and there's a local Sun Belt or something that we'll use. I mean, not that I cheat on you or anything like that, but just out of logistics and convenience of it, we may have to do that. It's like, and Chris definitely has experience with using other companies in different states and how horrible and overpriced the service is. But I have never experienced that with Jim Hankey or Bobcat of York. I know for the longest time, Keith used to run in there probably 2 to 3 times a week to rent a trailer from you guys, and you always had one, and we actually ended up buying a dump trailer, that same one that Keith rented. Like, they reserved that. Like, they knew Keith was, even though he brought it back on Tuesday, they knew we would be back on Thursday to get it. It was almost like we had it on reserve. And it's tough to,
Yeah.
and Keith has our other people that are, our coworkers also have a relationship with you guys, not just me, and Chris and I, but I know Keith and Scott, those guys have relationships with you guys as well, because he's in there so often, and Chris Mendez and Jared, those guys were in there renting bobcats and trailers and attachments, and we're just getting started, really, into, I was just thinking attachments, and that's why I said we're just getting started, because I know there's so many more attachments that I need, but I don't have to necessarily run out and purchase them, because I know when you go into your yard, you have every single attachment in there that I can rent for the day. And that's great. And heck, you would probably even deliver to a job site for me. If I said, hey, Jim, I need a truck, or I need a post hole digger, or I need, I was going to call it a hedgehog, but a brush hog attachment for the front of the Bobcat, that I know you probably personally would bring it out for me.
Absolutely.
Dude, that so far, and you are what helps companies like us grow. It's because of partnerships with Jim Hankey and Bobcat, and I don't know if Bobcat realizes how hard it is to find people like you, Jim. Or I don't know if how they manage or operate their company. From my experience, from the guys at the sales counter or the rent, where you go in and rent stuff, by far they're all good in there. But I don't know, hopefully you're not taken for granted, because, dude, it is so hard. It's guys like you, Chris Baker, Chuck, Denny, Derek, that make a company so successful. You know what I mean? Because the way you live your life, not just at work, but outside of work, and your priorities and what motivates you, like, it's hard to find that in somebody that actually takes care of the company that they work for. You run your business like it's your business. Like,
Amen.
You know what I mean? And that's a tough trait to find in somebody.
It's the unteachables.
Yes.
Stuff you can't teach somebody, man. You're born with that stuff, That's why one of the first questions that we ask someone when they're new on the show, man, is what drives you? What motivates you? What gets you up on the tough days? Because, like I said, I'll say it again, man, we all have tough days. I want to say 95% of the time that I get out of my bed, I cannot wait to go to work. But there is those 1 or 2 days every once in a while. I know I got a storm to go into. I know I'm going to have a bad day. And it's tough, man. But, we got a great support system. We work with great people like yourself. And I'm sure that you can talk about your coworkers the same. You guys seem like you have a pretty good ship around there. Eric Brewer, all these people around us that are willing to lend a hand, that take you under their wing, that don't let you fail. You know what I mean? So that's super important. And having that trait that Ty said, where you come to work and, you don't own Crownstone, right? But I guarantee you, if you presented yourself in that way, no one would be able to tell the difference. That's the effort that you put into it. And it's noticeable. It's noticeable when someone doesn't want to be doing what they're doing, man. You can tell that Shane loves what he does. You can tell that Ty loves what he does. I think you can tell that I love what I do, and I can tell that you love what you do. So, and that's important, especially when it comes to customer service, man. In the service industry, that I'd say you're in the service industry as well. That's huge, dude. That's huge. Having that confidence in your salesperson, in your service person, that they're going to help you and that you have their best interest at heart, man. That's unmatched.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree. You're a good dude. And that's obviously, the only reason why we asked you on the show. But, I just, we were talking about it and I wanted to show my appreciation, of our partnership. And because of people like you, we can do what we do today because, we have such good team players and partnerships and stuff like that. It's just great, Jim, and I really hope that that your sales are up, and that you're doing well. And if anything, hopefully this will help get the word out that Jim Hankey's out there kicking butt for Crownstone and Bobcat of York, because I know you've gone over and beyond for me. I don't know how many times over the course of, especially over the course of the past few months.
Yeah.
But
I definitely, can I say something real quick, Todd?
yeah,
I really appreciate you guys and, the kind of business that you run. I mean, it definitely shows. I'm not just saying this because you're my customer, but, it definitely shows because Todd, I've been around your business, quite a few days, and you always take time, for each employee to answer the question when they have it. And that means so much.
mm-hmm.
Just being approachable. And, I saw that and really caught my attention. So.
Thank you. Thank you. I do try to make the point to stop myself in the middle of whatever it is that I have to do so urgently. I'm not the best at it because I'll get fixated on something. And it's like I get tunnel vision. You know what I'm saying? And I can walk past 3 of my coworkers and not even acknowledge that they're there because I'm so fixated on something. And over the years, I've tried to just stop and say, hey, how was your day today? Or good morning, or you know what I mean? Like Dan came back when I was leaving tonight. Dan is a new hire. He's been with us for a few weeks, man. He's been a godsend. I mean, he's just kicking butt. But anyhow, I didn't jump in my truck right away. I talked to him for 5 minutes before I left, even though I needed and wanted to come home so badly. I stopped and asked him how his day was. He was like, great. I thanked him for his hard work. Those are the things, me and Chris had a conversation today about those kinds of things. And we had a show with CR Property Group and Integrity First Home Buyers and Eric and Anthony 2 weeks ago. And I guess their question to me was what was my fire? What was my mission? Like when I went out on my own, and I had said resentment, and we discussed that a little bit, because I left my previous employer I wasn't happy. I loved what I did, but I wasn't happy there, and I couldn't put my finger on it. But when I got home, Janice said it was because you weren't appreciated. And it didn't matter how much money I made. And I just wasn't happy, and I didn't feel appreciated. But having said that, there's 2 sides to every story too. You know what I'm saying? So being older now, I mean, because this was several years ago, and I was much younger then too, and that's why I say, I started my own business at a really young age. And have learned a lot over the years. You know what I'm saying? A lot of mistakes and error, and that's from being, running it with an iron fist and cracking the whip all day long to emotional hangovers every day to where we are today. You know what I mean? But I've been on both sides of it. I've worked for people, obviously, and now I hate to even say I have people who work for me, because that's not even how it is. It's like I feel like I work for them. Uh, my family is, when I say family, that means my coworkers. That's, I don't even want to say employees or workers or helpers. They're all my family, especially over the past 2 months. We have grown so close and so tight. It's like when you go into survival mode, like we all went into survival mode. Kim, Jocelyn, Colin, Ricky, Denny, Derek, Chuck. Yeah, man. Who am I forgetting right now? Greg. Yes, Greg and Keith. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all were like, okay, we're going to do this. This is what we got to do. And every single one of those people was willing to make sacrifice, no matter what it would take to make this thing happen. You know what I'm saying? And I will never forget that. And Chris, obviously, and Chris Baker, you know what I mean? And Chris Mendez and Jared and those guys. I keep forgetting about those guys. You know what I mean? Because when this all went down and we were closed, they closed us down, man. And then they were like, you need to close by Friday. But then all of a sudden it was like, no, now you got till Monday. And it was like, do we got all the computers up and everybody go home? But then it was like, then they gave us to Monday, and it was like, that Friday I filled out the exemption form, and was maybe a little too obsessive compulsive with that process, because eventually I got a letter stating basically, would you please shut up and here's your letter. But I got it. You know what I'm saying? And I spent 4 hours on the phone one day. But anyhow, but the family, and I'm not saying all of the other people, the other parts of the family, but there's been a core group of guys that did whatever it took, and women, men and women, that have been ride or dies. And I had a conversation with Kim and Jocelyn the other day. No matter what plan I came up with that morning, they were all about it. This is what we're doing moving forward. And then if it changed the next day, like, no, we're not going to do that now. We're going to do this. Okay, no problem. And I could rely on the fact that they were going to be there every single morning to back that up, to back me up, to whatever it was. And not just the ladies, but I work close with them, and they're listening to a lot of my phone conversations, and Kim watches my emails so things don't fall through the cracks. So, we work really close together. So, without them, I would be nothing. And then the extension of that is the Chris's, the Brandons, the Chucks, the Bobs. Christ, I keep forgetting about Bob. Bob has been ride or die, no matter what my game plan was for Bob that day, even though I had already gave him 3 game plans for the day. If I changed it the 4th time, Bob wasn't like, he was like, okay, if you think that's going to work. You know what I mean? It's like, are you guys really that stupid to listen to me? Like, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about.
No.
They had the faith in me.
It comes down to having faith in the people that run the shit, man. Consistency. It comes down to consistency and having faith. You never let us steer off course, man. As crazy as it might sound sometimes, and some of the outlandish ideas that you come up with, like building 2 gazebos in 5 days, like, just crazy outlandish things that you come up with, man, we figure it out and we always succeed. We always do it.
Yeah.
So who are we now to not trust that process anymore? You know what I mean? Like, I've seen some unbelievable things unfold since starting at this company 2 years ago, man. When I came here, you had this crazy ambitious idea that you were going to have these windows called Weatherbuster windows. You were going to make your own window. And we now install Weatherbuster windows all over the place. And like that was outlandish to me, and that was the big turning point for me that really made my eyes open up. Like, yo, man, this guy says some crazy stuff, but he means it. Like,
Yeah.
he is the most driven person that I've ever come in contact with as far as business owner. One of my first months here, I mean, he went to the beach for a week. And not even to go fishing like I thought he was. He went and put his Toolbelt on and was helping our Delaware division put siding up, man. The owner of my company. I'm used to my owners, cutting out of work early to go get lunch or to, criticize in his suit while he's wiping the dirt off his shoe because he's on a job site. Like, that's the kind of ownership that I was used to coming here. So, when it comes down to it, man, what I've started on, it's consistency. Talk about it, be about it. It's, actions speak louder than words. And, that's one thing that has, run rampant during this entire process, man, is the consistency of our guys, the consistency of our affiliates, our partners in business. There was a lot of times, man, that as a collective group, we really didn't know what the hell we were going to do.
Right.
But we did know that we were going to do it together and we would figure it out. I mean,
Yeah.
that's huge, man. Having that confidence in your brother next to you, that's huge. It's unmatched.
No doubt, man. You almost got me teared up there for a minute.
Don't you curse on me, man.
No, I won't do it. This whole thing's been nothing but growth, and the past few months, 2 months, 8 weeks, 6 weeks, 5 weeks, I don't even know what it's been. Has definitely been a growth spurt. And me, physically, mentally, and as a business as a whole, it's really opened my eyes to a lot of things, and not that I necessarily took things for granted before, but and if I ever questioned if this was ever built on a rickety foundation, that doubt has been smashed. Because I am my own worst critic. I'm like, I constantly question myself. Have I made the right decisions? Am I not paying attention to the right things? I had that conversation with Brandon, I think, yesterday or today. I'm like, because I'll get super fixated on something. It's like, oh shit, am I not paying attention to what I should be paying attention to over here? But I kind of lost my train of thought there for a minute, but there's just been such a big learning curve throughout this whole process of whatever doubt that I had in my mind, if we've been doing this right all along, that doubt has been smashed because we're still standing. And the scary part is, I mean, I don't know what the future holds as far as the economy, but I can tell you that as a company, as our company's economies concern, I feel like our economy's strong. When I see video like Eric had when he drove past the food bank a week or so ago, that scared me a little bit, and I think that made me go even more obsessive compulsive on being driven harder. Like, I can't let that happen to my people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when I say I work for my family today, I honestly feel that way. You know what I mean? I'm not working for myself. I think you get to a point in your career where it's kind of like, early on, yes, I needed to put food on my table and get my bills paid. But now it's like, what drives me is Chris Baker, Bob Stauffer, Colin, Eric, Denny, Dan. Now I got, Dan and Ricky and Greg and Chris Mendez and Jared and Kobe and all of their helpers. And it's like, now I got this huge family that I'm working for today, and I don't want to let you guys down, and I don't want to fail. So that's it. I'm done talking about myself. But anyhow, listen. We're gonna start having little segments during our show. We're gonna have a segment, a 5 or 10 minute segment. I don't know if we're gonna start next week or in 2 weeks. Vic from Victory Security Systems is gonna be on next week. But I want to call it. We're gonna have a 5 or 10 minute. We're gonna call it Tool Crib. Okay, so we'll have a 5-10 minute Tool Crib and segment, and we're going to consist of, maybe shout outs or tool talk or appreciation of employees or family members, co-workers, somebody's aunt and uncle just got married, whatever. But each week we'll do a tool crib talk. And I just wanted to throw that out there so then Shane can start brainstorming and Chris can start brainstorming on that. And we'll do shout outs and all that good stuff. But we'll have what's called the tool crib. So, but anyhow.
I like it. Shout out today though. Cody Rogers, he's a gutter guy for us, works at TC Backer. He's actually out. He had a snowboarding accident over the winter and basically destroyed his shoulder. Just ripped anything in there that holds that thing together, ripped it all apart. So he's pretty lit up right now. We miss him greatly. It's his birthday this weekend, and I only know that because I actually got to see the bill that Tyler spent on the alcohol for the weekend. So these guys are going to have a good time this weekend, and I just want them to know that they deserve it. And I hope that they have a very, very good time. And I hope that they don't have too good of a time, though, because I know how those guys are, and I need Cody back soon. So let's not bust him up any more than he is. Be careful of that arm. But you guys need to have a great time. Enjoy yourselves because you guys all work hard and you deserve it, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yes, most definitely they deserve it. Especially those guys, Colin and Tyler and Cody and those guys are family. They're true family, and they definitely run the family. You know what I mean? They work hard and they play hard, and that's what family does. And they definitely deserve it. I know Colin's been here since the beginning of this. He's been here longer than the pandemic, but he was one of the first ones to step up and say, "Let's do this." Yeah. And we posted his photo that Greg took of him down in Maryland on a condo building. And
yeah, man.
Yeah, he did. He did. Letting you all know that we're still here, we're still working, we're essential. Let's do this.
Yeah. And I don't even know if you realize this, Todd, but I'm pretty sure during that like 7 or 8 week hiatus that we were out during this thing, I don't think Colin had a single day off.
I don't think he did either. Not one.
I'm pretty sure he worked 7 days a week through this entire thing, man. Now, there may have been days that he went in on a Sunday that he wasn't able to do what he went in to do, but he got up and he got in his truck and he went to work with the intent to put a day in. That's something right there, man. That's over 60 days straight of work every single day. He's got a wife at home. He's got a kid at home. He's actually got kids at home. So that just tells you, gives you a little bit of a taste of what our guys are about, man. These are big shoes to fill. But we definitely appreciate everything that he's done, man. I could not have done what I did at home in the conditions that I was working under without guys like him, man. There's no way at all I would have been able to do it.
Most definitely. And the dedication, I appreciate that enough. I can't say enough. You're right, he did. There was every Saturday morning that I was there, he was there. And like you said, I know for a fact that he was out trying to keep things caught up, whether it be fresh gutter work on Sundays, for sure.
Well, Todd, I know that he would look me dead in my eyes and be like, nah, man, I'm not busy at all. What do you got for me? And he would go do my work, knowing in his mind that he has to work Sunday now because he really is super busy. And he won't tell me that, he's one of those guys that will, right there's that picture actually. He's one of those guys that just does not want to let anyone down, man. He's a great person, not just a great coworker and family member, man. He's just a good person in general. So that's really awesome. That's a really cool thing about him.
Yeah, man, for sure. So how do we want to end this tonight?
Yeah, well, real quick, I want everyone to know how they can get a hold of Jim. If anyone has any kind of questions, about anything they saw on here, if you could, Jim, if you could type your email address and your phone number in here in the comments section, just so anyone can get a hold of you, man, if they have any kind of questions. And obviously, if for some reason someone can't find that information, if someone wants to reach out to one of us, we can get you in contact with Jim for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Just reach out to me, reach out to Chris, go get a call on our website, go on Crown Smith website, Google Bobcat of York, to get a hold of Jim. And then before tonight, I'll actually put Bobcat of York's website on here. And Jim, if you don't mind, I can put your cell phone number down there.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and I got your email address. You emailed me those pictures today, so I will. I'll put your email address on there too. That way people know how to get a hold of you.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that you came on, man. We learned some things about you that, just even more, cements the kind of man that we thought that you are, the kind of businessman that we thought that you are, and the kind of, associate of ours, family member. That's really the only way I can put it. It just kind of cemented all those things that we already knew. It just kind of gave them more reason and, more material.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Yep. Yes, for sure. Tim, like Chris said, listening to the stories of Joelle, is that how you pronounce her name? Joelle?
Yep.
And the meaning of that, God is willing. Isn't that weird how God works? God works in various ways. You guys went to Israel. You came up with these names, and then she's going through the trials and tribulations, and God willing, she's still here. That's amazing. And that's a beautiful story, man. I'm glad you shared that with us.
Yeah, write it better, man. You cannot write that story better, Jim.
Hey, if we could keep Tina Yuri in our prayers, she's just going through some stuff. So if y'all could, if you're praying people, God hears through prayer. Like that's the communication line. That's his cell phone. So if you could pray and keep Tina Yuri in your prayers, just like that for that would be amazing. Jim, we'll keep your daughter in our prayers. That she keeps health, wealth in her future. And, TC Backer is always looking for qualified people, right? So if you are a gutterman or gutter woman, if you're a roofer, right? Like you know how to, you have to understand this is artwork to this company. If you know how to do hardscape and landscape, it's not laying a job down and getting paid. And I was doing a show, so apologize I wasn't able to do a video this morning. But I tell you, Chris Mendez, they make my yard look like a piece of artwork, man. I'm telling you, the whole crew. And, deal with people that love what they do. And that's what Bobcat of York does. Hanging out and being family. Chris and Ty and, we connected with Jim right away. You can feel that energy, man. Trust your insides. And, this whole show was about vendor relationships. Listen, doesn't matter what your business is. Get to know your vendors a little different. Ty said it great when he said, we really learned that our foundation was secure, right? It was built on secure blocks. And so that's the importance. Acknowledge them. Say hi to them. Every relationship that's a good relationship, it doesn't matter if it's with God and it goes down from there. You have to put something in. You can't just ask for something from somebody. You got to give. And giving is the ultimate eternal gift of life, is the gift of giving to other people. So, when you go beyond a paycheck and you do a purpose and you combine with other people in their community, it just makes for a beautiful place. And Chris said it best, man. We're super blessed here in Central Pennsylvania. We have iconic leaders in business here. And a leader in business is anyone that decides to lead. Ty said it best when he said, you would think that Jim and Chris owned these companies, man. And David from Allied Maintenance, right? These are the people, man. Like, that's how you do it. And I just want to thank all of you. And may God bless all of you for being icons and pioneers and just keeping the trail. I feel like stars are falling off the American flag and you guys are putting them back on. I'm serious. And saying, listen, we're going to forge forward in this thing, man. We're going to go back to the patriotic ways of the Declaration of Independence and the pursuit of happiness, life, liberty, right? That's all we're doing, man. Like, everyone has the pursuit of life and liberty and the pursuit of happiness, but you have to pursue the happiness. It's never going to come in a stimulus check. So I would encourage anybody. They're looking for good salespeople at TC Backer Construction. Now's the time. Cody Rogers, happy birthday, bro. We're praying for you. Have a good time. God bless you, man. And pray for Cody for a speedy recovery. My knee's been going through stuff, and I pray to God and touch my knee because He's the great physician. And believe it, man, I'm still running at 50, so give all the credit to Him. Ask Him for the prayer. You guys are a blessing. Thank you for being here behind the Toolbelt, is busting it out, and we love everything you're doing. We appreciate you. Rock these travel for sharing this. If you have a business, put it up. And this is episode 20, but not show 20. It's probably show like 200.
Right.
So that's all I got to say to end it. I don't know what you guys want to say, but I love you.
Yeah. Next week we got Victory Security on here. Victor from Victory Security, I should say. So that's going to be a pretty interesting one. He does all of our alarm systems and monitoring and all that kind of stuff. He's got a lot of interesting stuff, new technologies he can talk about. So next week's going to be a pretty interesting show for all you techie people out there.
Yeah.
As always, our shows are always interesting, though, I feel like. So
We try to keep it real.
yeah. Same song and dance next week, guys. 7 o'clock p.m. next week. 2 weeks from now, we'll actually be doing a show at 5 p.m. But
Thank you.
We're at 7, so we'll see everyone back here at 7. Jim, thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you.
We'll see you soon, man. We'll see you soon.
Love you, Jeff. Have a good night, buddy.
Love you too, man.
Yep.